Have you ever dreamed about starting a new life in Australia, but felt like the system was stacked against you? Maybe you've been told you're too old, your English isn't good enough, or that no employer would ever hire someone from overseas. For years, those barriers kept thousands of people out. But in June 2025, something shocking happened. Australia quietly launched a brand new visa program that tears down those walls. No age limit for most jobs, no IELTS requirement for many roles, lower salary thresholds, and employers already lined up, ready to sponsor workers directly from overseas. It's called the Northern Territory DAMA 3 visa, and people are already calling it Australia's hidden shortcut to permanent residency. Whether you're a skilled professional, a tradesperson, or even someone with experience in hospitality, agriculture, or care work, there's now a real chance for you to make the move. In this video, I'll break down exactly what this visa is, who can apply, the jobs available, how to find approved employers, and the step-by-step process to turn this opportunity into reality. On June 19, 2025, Australia signed an agreement that most people outside the country still don't know about. It's called the Northern Territory DAMA 3, short for Designated Area Migration Agreement, and it has quietly replaced the DAMA 2 program that expired in December 2024. Unlike traditional visa systems full of age limits, language exams, and complicated point scores, DAMA 3 was designed to solve one urgent problem: labor shortages in regional Northern Territory. Here's where things get shocking. For many occupations, there's no age limit at all. That means whether you're in your 20s or your 50s, you're still eligible. For a wide range of roles, you also don't need to pass the dreaded IELTS exam, removing one of the biggest barriers for overseas workers. On top of that, the salary threshold has been lowered, making it easier for applicants to qualify even if they're not in high-paying fields. More than 325 occupations are included across industries like hospitality, healthcare, agriculture, transport, and construction. And this isn't just a temporary fix. DAMA 3 is a pathway to permanent residency, with clear routes after just 3 to 5 years of work. Perhaps the best part? Employers are already lined up and ready to sponsor applicants, meaning the opportunity is real, immediate, and waiting for those who act fast. One of the most surprising things about the Northern Territory DAMA 3 is how inclusive it really is. Unlike most visa programs that only target highly skilled professionals, this agreement opens the door to workers at almost every level: skilled, semi-skilled, and even unskilled. That means you don't need a fancy degree or decades of experience to be considered. Take hospitality and food service, for example. Chefs, bakers, baristas, waiters, and bartenders are all on the list. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, cafe, or hotel, you could be eligible. Transport is another big category, with demand for bus drivers, truck drivers, crane operators, and forklift operators. Then there are the trades and construction jobs. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, and cabinet makers are all in short supply. Agriculture is also a major focus, covering fruit pickers, packers, and general farm workers. Healthcare and care services are equally critical, with nurses, aged care workers, childcare staff, and even nannies urgently needed. Beyond that, there's space for beauty therapists, hairdressers, mechanics, engineers, teachers, IT specialists, and cybersecurity experts. In other words, whether you're a skilled professional, a tradesperson, or simply someone with practical work experience, there's a strong chance your occupation is covered. This wide range makes DAMA 3 one of the most accessible visa pathways Australia has ever introduced. Quick question for you. If you had the chance to apply, which sector would you choose? Hospitality, agriculture, or healthcare? Drop your answer in the comments, I'd love to know. So what does it actually take to qualify for the DAMA 3 visa? The good news is that the requirements are far simpler than most other Australian visa pathways. Instead of a complex points system or endless checklists, the government has kept it straightforward and realistic. First, you'll need some work experience, generally 1 to 2 years in the occupation you're applying for. This doesn't mean decades of senior-level expertise. It simply shows that you know the job and can step into the role with confidence. Second, you must secure a job offer from an approved employer in the Northern Territory. This is the cornerstone of the program. The visa exists to connect overseas workers with employers who are struggling to fill positions locally. English proficiency is only required if your specific occupation demands it. Many roles come with concessions, so applicants who don't have strong English test scores still have a chance. Of course, standard checks still apply. You'll need to be in good health and have no serious criminal record. But beyond that, there's no complicated points test, no unrealistic age restrictions, and no endless hurdles. What do you think? Are you surprised that Australia has removed the age limit and IELTS for so many roles? Do you think this will encourage more people to apply? Share your thoughts below. That simplicity is exactly what makes DAMA 3 stand out. It's not about jumping through hoops. It's about proving you can do the job and matching you with an employer who needs your skills right now. One of the biggest advantages of the DAMA 3 agreement is that it doesn't just give you a temporary visa. It also builds a clear pathway to permanent residency. Depending on your situation and the type of job you secure, there are 3 main visa categories you could fall under. The first is the subclass 482 temporary skill shortage visa, which can last for up to 4 years. This option is often used as the starting point, giving you the chance to enter Australia quickly, start working, and prove yourself to your employer. Next is the subclass 494 skilled employer-sponsored regional visa. This visa is valid for up to 5 years and is specifically designed for regional areas like the Northern Territory. The major benefit here is that after just 3 years of full-time work, you can transition to permanent residency. Finally, there's the subclass 186 Employer Nomination Scheme visa. This is the most direct route as it allows approved employers to sponsor you straight into permanent residency without waiting several years. Which pathway you take depends on the type of job, your employer's sponsorship choice, and your personal circumstances. But the bottom line is this: every route under DAMA 3 leads to a stable, long-term future in Australia. And for many applicants, the dream of becoming a permanent resident is closer than ever. Now that you know the basics, let's walk through the step-by-step process of applying under the DAMA 3 program. It's simpler than most people expect, but every stage is important. Step 1. Secure a job offer with an approved Northern Territory employer. This is the foundation of your application, because the visa only works if you're sponsored by an employer recognized under the DAMA agreement. Step 2. Once you have an offer, your employer applies for your endorsement through the Northern Territory government. This step confirms that both you and the job meet the program's requirements. Step 3. Your employer then signs what's called a labor agreement with the Australian government. This formal agreement authorizes them to sponsor you under DAMA 3. Step 4. You can now lodge your visa application under the appropriate category, subclass 482, 494, or 186, depending on the pathway chosen. Step 5. Once your visa is approved, it's time to make the move, start your new job, and begin your journey in Australia. It may sound like a lot, but compared to the endless paperwork of traditional visas, this process is refreshingly straightforward. The key is finding the right employer, and in the next section I'll show you exactly where to look. Let me ask you this: if you got the DAMA 3 visa tomorrow, would you move to Australia on your own first, or would you bring your whole family straight away? Comment your plan below. Finding the right employer is the most important part of your DAMA journey, and the good news is you don't need to waste money on middlemen. Start with the Northern Territory government's official list of approved agencies and employers. It's completely free, and it gives you direct access to businesses that are already authorized to sponsor under DAMA 3. Next, make use of Australia's main job search platforms. Popular sites like Worker Connect, Workforce Australia, Adzuna, Seek, Swag Jobs, and Backpacker Job Board all list vacancies from NT employers. The trick is to always filter your search by location, Northern Territory only. That way you won't waste time scrolling through jobs in Sydney or Melbourne that don't apply to the DAMA program. Also, don't be afraid to apply broadly. Employers in hospitality, aged care, construction, and agriculture are actively looking for staff, and many of them are open to overseas workers. Tailor your CV to match the ANZESCO job code, highlight your experience, and be ready for online interviews. One more tip: avoid unofficial agents who promise fast-track jobs in exchange for big fees. Everything you need is publicly available and free. Stick to the official NT resources and trusted job boards, and you'll put yourself miles ahead of others still chasing scams. What makes the Northern Territory DAMA 3 program stand out from other migration pathways is how it's specifically designed to solve regional skill shortages. Unlike big cities where employers are flooded with applications, NT businesses often struggle to find staff. That means employers are actively looking for people like you, and they're ready to support. Another big advantage is less competition. In Sydney or Melbourne, thousands of candidates fight for the same role. In Darwin or Alice Springs, you may be one of only a few applicants. This gives you a real edge and increases your chances of securing sponsorship. Life in the NT also comes with regional benefits. Lower cost of living compared to major cities, shorter commutes, and a more relaxed lifestyle. You can actually enjoy your free time instead of spending hours stuck in traffic. For families, the DAMA 3 pathway is even more attractive. Dependents are included, giving your children access to local schools and your partner access to healthcare services. It's not just a job. It's a chance to settle your whole family in Australia. Finally, many NT employers provide extra support, sometimes covering visa-related costs or helping you with relocation. That kind of assistance is rare in big cities, but in the territory, it's often the norm. Altogether, this makes DAMA 3 a one-of-a-kind opportunity. Easier access to sponsorship, real support, and a better work-life balance. Here's something I'm curious about. Would you be willing to live in a regional area like Darwin or Alice Springs if it meant getting permanent residency much faster? Yes or no? Tell me in the comments. If you want to stand out in the Northern Territory DAMA 3 program, preparation is everything. Start by tailoring your CV to Australian standards. This means keeping it clear, concise, and focused on achievements. Avoid long paragraphs and instead use bullet points to highlight key skills and responsibilities. Australian employers value directness and proof of experience. Next, make sure you research the ANSCO code that matches your occupation. This is the official classification of jobs in Australia, and choosing the correct one ensures your application lines up with the government's requirements. Mislabeling your role could delay or even block your application. Don't limit yourself to a single employer. Apply widely across the Northern Territory to maximize your chances. Employers in industries such as hospitality, agriculture, healthcare, and trades are all seeking skilled and semi-skilled workers, so cast a wide net. Most interviews will happen online, so prepare thoroughly. Dress professionally, check your internet connection, and be ready to explain not just your skills, but also why you want to live and work in the Northern Territory. Employers want candidates who are motivated to stay long-term. Finally, act quickly. DAMA 3 has limited quotas, and places can fill up fast. The sooner you prepare your documents and secure a job offer, the better your chances of success. With the right preparation, persistence, and timing, you could be on your way to a new life and career in Australia. If you've been dreaming about starting a new life in Australia, the Northern Territory DAMA 3 program is your chance. Don't wait for the perfect time. The best time to act is now. Every year, many people miss out simply because they hesitated too long. This pathway is one of the most flexible in the country. It doesn't just give you a work visa, but also a real opportunity to transition into permanent residency, PR, later on. For many applicants, the biggest advantage is that there are no strict age limits, which makes it especially attractive if you've struggled with other visa programs. Your next step is clear. Prepare your CV, start applying to employers, and use the official list of registered agencies to speed up the process. We've included all useful links in the description below, so make sure you check them right after this video. Remember, this isn't just about getting a job, it's about building a future, one where you can live, work, and settle permanently in Australia. Take the first step today, and give yourself and your family the chance to succeed. And before you go, would you like me to create a step-by-step video on how to write an Australian standard CV, or how to quickly find approved employers? Comment below and I'll make it happen. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has given you clarity and confidence about the DAMA 3 program. Remember, opportunities like this don't come often, and the sooner you prepare, the better your chances. Stay informed, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next video.